Well, Mr. Noel Hamel, political activist, is joining us over the phone from London to shed more light on this. Mr. Noel, although Britain avoided public accounting in the CIA report, how much of a role has the UK actually played in facilitating retention and torture?
Well, I can't tell you the full extent, but there are certain signs that should indicate things for you. If the British were totally exonerated, they wouldn't be the redacted portions in the report. Now, the redacted portions, you shouldn't necessarily read anything too sinister in that, because the USA would redact anything that they thought might indicate that the British had been involved, because that's what allies do. They don't sneak on each other. But what we have to watch is, in future, if the British decide that the redacted portions should remain redacted, then the British are up to it in their armpits. They're absolutely guilty. Now, you noticed, or you may have noticed, that yesterday Jack Straw was very quick to deny that the British had been involved at all. Now, far be it from me to contradict Jack Straw, but I do know that the British secret intelligence heads were in Washington within 2 days of the attacks on the Twin Towers of 9/11.
So what's your
They were fully
what's your take on Mr. David Cameron's
by the CIA. So no one can say that the British intelligence agencies didn't know what was planned.
Yes.
You say something.
So in regards to David Cameron's reaction, he says that he's very satisfied with the UK system in the way it's dealing with these issues. Do you think that's the case, though?
No, I think we need a full inquiry. If we don't have a full inquiry and we don't know what went on, how can we deal with it in the future and make sure that it's not repeated? Now, it's in nobody's interest to cover this up. It won't do us any harm whatsoever, but there are a number of individuals who may be embarrassed by it, though it doesn't necessarily follow that there will be prosecutions or other legal measures taken against them. If you look at what happened in the United States, President Obama exonerated people in advance. And that, in a way, that paved the way for the report and the inquiry.
And
but
of course,
what will happen in Britain, I don't know.
And of course, it's not just the UK who could be complicit in actually facilitating torture for these CIA programs. There's other European countries. According to the information compiled by the Open Society Foundation, 21 European countries could have had a role in this. Why have these European countries failed to take out the necessary investigations to investigate those officials who facilitated the CIA work in regards to those terms in their countries?
Look, if somebody's done something wrong, the last thing they're going to do is to fess up and say, look, hands up, we did it. They're going to try and draw it out and deny it and cover it up and so on and so on. This could go on for years. I mean, let's come back to Jack Straw. He's very quick to deny involvement. But we know that he was the one who decided that people like Shaka Amar, for whose release I campaign, should have been sent to Guantanamo. He was given the option of having him back here and all the other British nationals and British residents to face British justice. But he said, oh no, send them off to Guantanamo. Now, I've already established that our security agencies knew, Sir Mark Allen and others, they all knew what Guantanamo was all about before Jack Straw made that decision. And how do I know Jack Straw made that decision? Because emails have been released under a Freedom of Information inquiry concerning another case.
And of course, this report does highlight the torture that the CIA programs did actually facilitate and do in regards to the people they had in their prisons, if we could say so. But Do you think these revelations will play a part to stop these things from happening in the future?
Oh, I think so. If enough people are embarrassed about it, they'll be much more cautious in the future, and so will future generations. This was a wheeze that was got up in response to the attack of 9/11 in order to satisfy a thirst for retribution amongst the American electorate. And as regards covering up, I mean, Donald Rumsfeld had a particular wheeze that enabled him to operate torture without having to go to Congress to fess up and tell them what he was doing.
Yes.
I forget the precise details, but I just know it happened. So Congress actually didn't know what was going on.
Yes, Mr. Noel Hamel, a political activist, joining us over the phone. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for joining us from London.